mystical side. We're building culture in the purifying fire. Fires flying, embracing the darkness of power ignites. The Dragon's Game, a legend reborn, lurking in the shadows in the night so forlorn. Escaping legion from dusk till dawn, joining forces, the outcast spawn. Forbidden lore whispers ancient and wise, chasing the game to everyone's surprise. The wolf is burned under his eyes, embracing the flame as the dragon flies. Relishing in the old ways, no compromise. The Dragon's Game, a mystical blend in the darkness of night. His reign will extend, forgotten gamers he will defend, from the world's chaos to the very end. The Dragon's Game, the ultimate test. Join his legion and be blessed. In the shadows we find eternal rest. The Dragon's Game, the darkest best.
And we're live. Hello, everybody. Sorry about that. Was doing something on the back end. I forgot. I was doing something on the back end screen, and I forgot about something. But I'm glad it didn't show it yet. But I have a surprise. Maybe some of y'all know this already. Maybe y'all do not. I certainly did not know about this, and if I did, I'll blame my brain injury to say I had completely forgotten about it because no one told me. No one keeps telling me or advertising or anything about a certain game. A game that has just came out as a closed beta release and is was trending on X. I actually saw it in my feed earlier this morning. I got so stoked about it. I decided to look more into it, and I decided we're going to cover it for a gaming news for something to talk about before we play the game. What is this game you're talking about? Well, have I got news for you? The game is called Mecha Break. That's too small. Let me help y'all out here. Oop, that's too big. Ah, there we go. It's a multiplayer mech game. All right, it's some of y'all know me IRL, and some of y'all do not. Some of y'all know me only on the internet. But those that really know me know I love mechs. And how about now? How about now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now, Adam? Yes. If I'm getting too soft, y'all need to let me know. I have yet to get the uh, mic set up. I had a crazy day and I got distracted by this game. So all I did was set up the mic. I had not plugged it in, installed it, or anything like that. So it's not even plugged in my PC yet, the new mic. But we'll get there. We'll get there. Still quiet. Still quiet. Why am I still quiet? How about now? How about now? Testing. Ah, what is wrong with my mic settings? They should not be. They should not be this soft. Okay. maybe it's a delay. But anyways, I'm gonna try my best to uh, get this fixed. But till then, I do have an audio adjustment for this later on. I will be making these news um, uh, separate, like another video, so you don't have to just watch the whole live stream. In case some people miss it, because I know some people come in a little late. But anyways, I keep saying the game is made by Amazing Season Games, and it's an independent game company in China. Now, I know what you're gonna say. I know what you're gonna say. All right, me too. I was when I saw China. I try to be a little wary of China because of its political culture, but you know, we've been getting some good games from the East, and that's the thing. Why do we need to get? Why do we need the East for good games? Why? I don't know. I don't know. But I don't know if this is going to copyright me, so I'm going to mute the sound. But I just want y'all to see the amazing gameplay here. Okay, I'm loving the style, the design. Look at this. This is in-game footage. I'm already sold with the transformation. I love transforming mechs. Gundam Seed was Gundam Wing. I think it was Gundam Wing and Gundam Seed were some of my favorite Gundam series. Hello, Sergeant. I know y'all can't hear the sound, but I don't want to get copyright strike. This is the closed beta trailer we're seeing right now. All right. Now, here's some more footage. I just want to show it. Look at these designs. Look at this. In-game footage and beautiful character design. Look at that. Beautiful. No potatoes amongst them. I want to play it right now. Like literally, I want to play. I want to play this game right now. Which we'll get into that. We'll get into that. But I'm loving the gameplay footage. I won't lie, I'm loving it. But it's a closed beta. I did add it to my wish list because I want to play it. I don't know if it's gonna have uh, controller friendly, but you can request access, and yes, I did request access. Um, there's no reviews on it. Okay, there's no user reviews, but on Steam. But I'm going to show you something here later because people are hiding these games. All right, and I'm not going to read all this because I'm trying to be quick. I don't want my whole stream to be this, but look at these character designs for these pilots. Look at this, and the mechs themselves. Spare no expense on the details. You're telling me we can't have this in Western gaming? Steam Deck can handle it. I don't know. Profile features limited. It doesn't say yet, but it's in closed beta. So maybe. I hope. I hope. You can join squads 3 or 6, piloting skills, conquer foes, immerse yourself. Yeah, I'm liking this, and I like this. You're a game changer. I like that. You get Lone Wolf Warrior, Fearless Noble Girls. He's a veteran. Each one has their unique story, so it's awesome. Like I like that. It's kind of reminding me. It's like Gundam meets First Descendant. That's what I'm getting on the vibes here. I did look around for um, interviews on it. I didn't find a whole lot. I mean, there are some, but it keeps getting. I have never seen these things. Like I follow Niche Gamer, I have not gotten a notification on this. This was on in April. Multiplayer mech action game break. Mecha Break is another beta, right? CSUN Games announced another closed beta for Mecha Break, their new multiplayer mecha action game for PC and consoles. The game's next closed beta is signed a little later this month. Um, and I didn't even know about it. Like this is something that I try to keep tabs on. You get you got make a color scheme. You can change your schemes of your color. Like it's already reviewing the same thing, right? And then earlier they talk about it in December. Snowbreak contains and if y'all don't know, Snowbreak had an issue. Voice actors from the West refused to do voiceovers for Snowbreak because of the fan service. They said the fan service, and we're going to talk about that here in a little bit because I want to talk about the hypocrisy of stuff like that. And I wish I couldn't find it, but I wish I could found the soundbite for it because there's an old TV show that y'all might know. But I'll just tell you, Married with Children. What's his name? Al. He goes, men like pretty women. Pretty women sell men beer. Ugly women make men drink beer. Same with games. We like pretty women. And not just us, apparently. Women like them too. Oh, wow. It has Steam Deck potential at 33 FPS. Oh, yeah. That should be awesome, Dragon. All right. So, it talks like it's still the same. It's still the same thing. So I'm not going to go too much because it's the same article. But Sports Illustrated covered it. Imagine Sports Illustrated. I even found a Forbes article about this. Right, all this was back in May. They're not covering it now too much now. I died 30 million times in Mecha Break's closed beta, and I can't wait to die again. They call it Gundam meets Overwatch. Mecha Break is a chaotic make that might sound like a bad thing, but sometimes the best games are chaotic messes. This is kind of true. All right. Sometimes the worst games are chaos based too. Make or Break leans towards the brilliant than the terrible, but it's somewhat early state. There's a lot of refinement to go. Yes, it's in beta. I went into Make or Break knowing very little about the game. I assumed wrongly that it was a single player mech building and fighting game along the lines of Armored Core 6 Rubicon. I don't know why I thought this, but I was honestly delighted to be wrong when I discovered it's instead a team based shooter more like Overwatch than Armored Core. All right. I don't want to get too much into it. Okay. Talks about the tutorials and how he keeps buzzing around and dying. With a controller up. Oh, so they didn't have a controller at the time. So the, so he tried using a controller on it. This is Sports Illustrated talking about you can't use a controller on it. To be clear, this is a beta. Not everything is going to work. All right, so that's fair. That's fair. We'll test that out because I depend on a controller. So because my hand shakes. I mean, y'all seeing it now where I'm trying to do these and my hand keeps going up or down. So, but yeah, this is Sports Illustrated's article on it. You know, this is back in May. But if you think they just focus on the mechs, I have some news for you. Automaton, it talks about it. No one was ready for MechBreak's character creator to be that pretty, and it's safe to say it has contributed to the closed playtest impressive numbers. Look at this. That's one of the characters. That's one of the pilots. Isn't she pretty? See if I can zoom in a bit more. Look at that. It kind of reminds me of First Descendants design for the characters. Over the past few days, China-based Amazing Season Games has been holding the first closed beta for their upcoming free-to-play mech shooter, Mecha Break. Despite the participation being limited, users can request access via Steam or get a key for Twitch drops. Today was the last day, which kind of sucked. Peaking out over 10K concurrent players, maintaining solid average around 4K players. I actually, and I love that they give the source. I actually looked it up. I actually have it on the tabs here. We're going to look at later. Um, let's look at that. I don't think I opened it, but the translation is: Wait, was no one going to tell me you could do this much in Mecha Break's character creation? Here it is, right here. Look at that. She looks like Tifa. Look at that. Look at that. You can create your own character, and there's not even a black cover. Look at that. Not even a black color. Players surpassing the open plus of Sony's Concord, and they mentioned Sony's Concord. We're going to talk about that too because there's something funny about that. With players figured surpassing the open playtest of Sony's Concord and inching close to Marvel Rivals, Mecha Break has been full of surprises. Obviously, players are pleased with the breath of fresh air the title brings to hero shooter genre with its high degree of mech customization and high adrenaline aerial dogfights. However, apart from the Mecha Break, Break has seemed to deal with its character mode customization. Mech enthusiasts normally go into mech games hoping to create and pilot the mechs of their dreams, but Mech Break presidents were pleased to find out they would also be making some dreamy pilots. Frankly, the character customization is borderline ridiculous in how it lets you engineer even clap of your pilot's butt cheeks with its plethora of butt-related sliders. Ooh, butt butt related. I need a minion's butt comment. But to be fair, the game is equally detailed with everything else too, letting you edit everything from the individual reflection of your character's eyes to the width of their kneecaps. Most importantly, Mecha Break's character customer makes it easy to make beautiful character and games that scratches people's itch to look at and project onto pretty people are all project onto pretty people are always in demand. This seems to have contributed to the positive response to Mecha Break, as the amount of people are having fun recreating characters. I can't say that very well. I'm sorry, but I have a speech impairment and I will screw that up. In game as anything to go by. The game's second phase of beta testing, which will be open to all PC users, will start from August 10th, and it'll be interesting to see how much the player base grows. Make a Break is also scheduled to be released on PS5 and Xbox Series XS down the line. To find out more about the upcoming game, check out the full review with Mecha Break's producer and our early hands-on preview. I did not do that. This was a quick, um, like I was literally doing this on the fly. I just I heard about it, and then I was also running a video edit. You'll probably already noticed that, but I decided to go to their website to find out more. Right. Um, here's the roadmap of the current roadmap right now. They had their Twitch drops, and then they go on server maintenance, and the stream playtest August 10th, 11th, 12th, and 13th. I already pre-registered. I want to play. I want to play this game, and if they let me play it, we might play it on August 10th. Um, so Saturday, we might play it Saturday if I'm able to play it. We will sit there, and then probably the first day will be character creation. I know. I'm gonna try to balance everything out. Too late for the Twitch drops. There's creators collab. You know, they're showing you some other things. But then I went down And I wanted to show you this. Here's some of the pilots and their mechs. You got Panther. You got Ali's Nest. Protagonist. I guess that's you. I guess it's supposed to be you. Charles Bell, Tricera. I guess is that it? Because I remember seeing a video and I didn't know if I could put it in here, but someone said that you could like some of them transform into dinosaurs. And the sniper model, field maintenance weapon switch, Welkin heavy brawler, Hurricane heavy, ultra heavy defender, Sky Raider, and move back to Falcon. Fully customizable mecha color schemes. We'll not go too much, but yeah, these are awesome. And then I went and decided to look at their Twitch, their X, Twitter, and they went and shared some of the reviews on their stuff, let you know about the maintenance that was happening, right? And this person here, I'm going to get into. But look at this, these are people showing their stats. You know what? Hold on. Hold on. Sorry, guys. There we go. There you go. Look at all that. More action gameplay. That looks like fun. You know, here's another character. But what I found interesting, right, was this Susanna Grace. I clicked on it and she goes, "Not bad. First story. I think Make a Break and I are going to get along." All right. Look at that. She has a nice character, right? She has a nice character. You know, feminine curves. She could have made a potato she wanted according to what we've read already, right? She also says, also, I'm a partner creator with Mecha Break, so expect to see some clips and streams very soon. But here's what got me. She goes, "This game was made for me and me alone." Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. She's she's a woman, right? Susanna Grace. She's a woman. And look at her bot. Look at her mech. It clearly has curves, right? We see that, right? Well, even Mech says happy to have you, but I want to show you something. Look at this. Look at this. What does it say on there? What is that? What is that? What is that? Oh, Rainbow Streamer, Rainbow Brigade. She, her pronouns in bio, streamer. But I thought Concord was meant for her. I thought that was clearly meant for her and her alone. She didn't say that. Okay, she could have said about that, and we don't know about it. You know, I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. But if you look at Concord, remember we were talking about Concord earlier. I'm switching it back. Don't worry, guys. If you look at Concord, if you go down here, oh, the alphabet soup. This game is meant for the alphabet soup. Let's watch this real quick. All right, but before we do, I wanted to point something out here. Let's see. I was scrolling down. I was admiring a lot about this. But let's see what the users are saying. She's caked up, Your Honor. Look at that. Look at these lovely curves. Please consider putting more than just two options for paint just for mechs. Because it's the end thing to do, and she's obviously alphabet soup. But Learning Law says Mecha Break uh, Beta. It came out of nowhere with minimal advertising compared to AAA billion-dollar companies. It already has outperformed Concord, the last PlayStation game, despite the latter's hundreds of sponsored articles, paid YouTubers, and general advertising. Naturally, the title isn't quite pulling up the numbers of Marvel, a hero shooter with massive and global IP behind it, but it's easily crushed the player count of Sony's Concord during its open beta. I mean, look at these curves. It's beautiful. Boomer from the 80s. Lolo laughing out loud. The numbers don't lie. Concord, hashtag MechBreda. I mean, look, here's this person. I wanted to stop here for this reason. Here's this person. Here's the potato. And no, she's not a potato because she's black. She's a potato because she's shaped like a potato. And here's Mecha. All right. Playing an hour. We're gonna, but and just so we know, I did go into the Steam DBs. Okay, here's Mecha's tests. Users right now, 3,603. At a 24-hour peak, 7,422. All time, 10,488. 10.5K. Look at this. In 48 hours. 48 hours. Now, let's look at Concord's numbers. All time peak, 2,388. Barely 2.5K. Barely two. The numbers don't lie, people. So Susan, she, her, alphabet streamer, says, and I quote, "This game was made for me and me alone." But like I said, I thought this was your game. All right. Now let's. I want to also point something out here. All right. You see this woman, right? We've seen her in certain in all kinds of advertisements, right, for the game. Well, let's look at its stream profile. Watch this. Watch this. All right. So here we go. I'm not even interested. It doesn't seem interesting to me. But see, you see her a lot. You see him, right? I mean, she looks ugly as shit, but at least she has a slender shape. You can see her flipping around. Okay, you see her a lot. Okay, you see her. A lot of her. Look what I can do. I can flip around. You see the cowboy. You see the cowboy flipping around. I think that's the cowboy. I don't know what that is. All right. I'm not even seeing their the potato girl. Play all 16 characters. They're showing you four characters so far. There she is. Okay, you get to see her for barely a second. Okay, there she is again at the far end of the screen. She's not the focus. She's at the edge. Okay, all right. So you only got to see her. Hold on. You only got to see. You only got to see her barely a couple of seconds. Not even a second. I won't even say. I won't even say a second. It moves too fast. And she's not even a focus on the screen. She's at the edge, easily missed because you're looking at the center of the screen. They know this. They know you're going to look at the center of the screen. So anything in the foreground, background, you're not going to see. All right, so let's continue. Maybe it's in the next one. Okay, maybe it's in the next one. All right. Here we go. Hold on. We got a skinny guy. We got a strong guy. We got a big old robot. We got, I don't know what that is. I can't tell. My eyes are bad. Disclaimer. Looks like a weird legged android thing. And we got a white woman. Okay, so we're saying we got a diverse. I guess we're saying we got a diverse range of characters. Okay, well, where's your potato girl? Maybe she's coming later. Okay. Oh, it's a girl named Val, sniper, black chick. Okay, cool. All right, all right. You got Lenore. Okay, he's a cow. I guess he's the cowboy I saw earlier. You got that big old robot. Oh, wait, oh, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. What was that? What was that? What is that? You see that? We finally see something. Oh, so quick. There she is. There she is. We found her. We found her. They're so embarrassed of that character, they put her on the edge. That's what I'm going to say. It looks like they're so ashamed of that character. Tonight, so far, we haven't seen her in here. She's just like, I'm looking. I don't see her. I don't see her. She's, look, there she is. There she is right there. So far away, you can barely see her in there. Remember, they shoot. These are their best game shots. They want you to buy the game. Look at this. There she is. All right. There she is. We got to see her. So she's got a little bit more guest appearances here. Oh, but she gets knocked away by the big strong man. She's not showing how badass she is. One off. I that reminds me one. If you ever, this is how old I am. If you ever read the Sonic the Hedgehog comics, there was a mini series called Knuckles Chaotix, and one of them had a robot that woke up and realized he didn't want to work for Doctor Ivo Robotnik or Eggman, and he was shaped like that but red. Not my favorite character as a kid. But look, are we seeing? There she is. There she is. Okay, we're seeing her reload. Okay, maybe she can do some action. Maybe we can see something action about her. No, no, you just see her reload. Or maybe that is her. Okay, maybe that is her. I don't know. Oh, but they gave her so quick shot. Hold on. I didn't get to see much of her. They even do a special introduction on her. See, no special introduction. Just run in there. Okay, here's her. We give her screen time. Okay, but hey, look at this. We got this alien guy that can shoot rockets and stuff. Pretty slim. And they showed a cowboy guy again. And here's all the cool guys running off, having fun. All right, so you see, they've already had their screen time, and they're showing them again, and showing her getting blasted a lot, blasted. Okay, all right, so maybe she's in the screenshots. You think? I don't see her. I don't see her. Oh, there she is. You know, we people look at the center, and when you do visual arts, you do it so it draws people to the center of the screen. So whenever they're looking, it's always going to point to the center. See, he's looking at him. He's looking at him. She's pointing this direction. Right? It's all pointing towards the center. Your eyes gravitate to the center. Same thing here. Pointing to the center. Pointing to the center. There she is. Hardly visible because of her color scheme and the map's color scheme. I'm not saying I like the character. I'm not saying I hate the character. All right? But let's be honest here. People like pretty things. Even dragons. I'm a dragon. Did you ever see a dragon try to lift up a giant potato that villagers offer as a sacrifice so they don't eat so the dragon doesn't eat their sheep or something? No, it's a pretty baby. Do you see dragons sitting around with a fat, heavy-set woman? No, even though we're dragons, we're strong and all this stuff. A potato girl is gonna fricking break our backs. So no, we're not around. We're not around. No, 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 no. we would hang around with this. This no, she looks fit. This one looks feminine, warm, inviting. Looks like, and she also looks like she can totally kick ass. This one here, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna keep an eye on my food. Okay, all right. But yeah, I just wanted to show that because the numbers don't lie. This game was made for me and clearly for me alone. She, her. And I'm not trying to diss on Susanna. You know, that's not the point of this. I'm not doing politics. I'm just saying there's a game made for her. Clearly. And even pronouns lady over here does not want it. She says this was meant for her. And she's not choosing to be a potato. She's choosing a sexy feminine design. And the thing is that as much as PlayStation, Firebox, all these DEI companies are trying to say, "Oh, we're very diverse," actions speak louder than words. You did how we didn't see much of Potato Girl, barely anything. And if it was, she was not the main focus. And when she was, it was quick and moved on to the next character, barely a few seconds. Yeah, and it is a shame. All right, I agree with y'all. I mean, and people are saying how much they like this, and how much people like I made Galatmon in Mecha Break. I love the customization option in this game. They did an amazing job. You're telling me it's hard to make this? Yes, I will give you that. It's hard to make this. And I know what people are saying. I'm gonna give some. I'm gonna be the devil's advocate here for Concord. Maybe this game was fun. Maybe people did want to play it, but maybe it was this PlayStation Network action account required, subject to the PlayStation Terms of Service user agreements. Maybe that could have stopped it, everyone from getting it, because as we know, Helldivers, awesome game. I loved the game until they said they were going to do the PSN. I was like, I don't want a PSN. I don't even want an EA Games account or any of that. I just if I buy it on Steam, I want to play it on Steam. If I buy it on Xbox, I want to play it on Xbox. I don't want all these accounts. It's too much stuff for me to handle and monitor. I don't want it. And besides, I have a brain injury. So when you make me have to get all kinds of multiple accounts, you're discriminating against me who can't remember every little thing, and it's easier for them to have fewer accounts. So you're discriminating against a disabled dragon. And a dragon nonetheless. An endangered species. So there's that. And if you say I'm not a dragon, well then you're a bigot. Yeah, you're racist. I'm a dragon. I'm transracial. I'm a dragon, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, so I just wanted to show this game to y'all. I think it looks good and amazing. And as I dug into this rabbit hole alone, like I said, the numbers don't lie. The numbers don't lie. You can say you can say it was this PlayStation Network account. You could say it was that. But for all the advertising I saw for Concord, not once have I seen the amount of players worldwide talking about it. All right. And here's the funny thing: PlayStation, right? I want to point this out. Maybe it's in here. Hold on. Is it here? Oh, hold on. There it is. It was so quick. Hold on. Play has no limits. Play has no limits. But I'm limited to a potato and these like I'm not just digging on a potato. I don't like any these. None of these characters look like wow. I want to play these characters. Like none of these characters look awesome. But you're saying play has no limits. Okay. Then why is Mecha beating your ass? Why is Mecha Break beating your? Why is a Chinese company beating you? I mean, seriously. They got people are talking about the customization options. They like Mecha Break literally broke the limits. You not only can you adjust your mech's look, you can adjust your character's look. And look at these curves. But I get it. It's like Eve from Stella Blade. It's like Eve from Stella Blade, right? All these options, you know, it's bad. This is of the devil. Okay. Well, I'm a dragon. What is? Can someone tell me? Can someone tell me what the dragon is usually depicted as in fantasy? What? Come on, chat. Come on, someone tell me. Someone please tell me. And I know this is covering it up. I'll cover it up here. What am I? What is a dragon like me uh, depicted as? All right. Can someone tell me? Mm. No one wants to say anything. All right. Let me tell you what a dragon is depicted as. If Pretty Women is of the devil, then and the dragon is symbolic of evil and the devil, then I guess the Pretty Women are of me. It's okay, fine. So I'm going to play a game like this. I sit on gold with a princess, Draco says. A god? Okay, Adam, I get you. Okay. Big, wow, you guys are roasting the potato girl. Meets McDonald's supersize. Those D's were never put up. Room running down. Draco's shows violence today. Actions speak loud. Actions louder than words. So Todd's even bet. Oh, I don't think I can say the rest of that. But I am a bigot. Yeah, I get. Yeah, you are a bigot. Vegas, you are a bigot. Because how dare you? How dare you choose a demonic evil character over a stunning and brave potato girl? A potato girl that even the devs didn't even give enough screen time to promote. I mean, seriously, that's literally it. But see, this is what I love about gamers, and you can tell gamers is they'll talk about how much they love it. How am I not an MVP? Okay. Have you seen a cow pilot a mech? Okay. She's a cowgirl. She's a cow streamer. Okay. All right. Oh, I love this one. I love this one. I love this one. I'm gonna screenshot this later, make it a meme. Why you should play Mech Break? We all know what's going here. We all know what's going here. We all know what the ending is like. But yeah, I just thought this was awesome. All right, and like fans are just coming out. Ooh, we're not gonna show. Oh, Mistress Rihanna. One of my friends. I Mistress Rihanna. If you're watching my streams, I know you don't, but if you are, because we do talk on X a lot. And no, I don't send for her. She's actually a friend. Um, hi. I didn't know you were playing it. Uh, but I can't show your streams. I think I know you could. We could do it on Twitch. I don't know if I could do it on YouTube. I'm very very cautious. But yeah, I think this is a very good. I think they earned their money. I really think this is well earned, and I'm going to try to play it. And I just wanted to shout it out. Um, and what do y'all think? And especially those that are probably watching this after the live stream, because I'm going to cut this out. This is my first video news where I'm showing things. I'm still working things out. But what do y'all think of Mecha Break? Just seeing the data. Do y'all think it's going to be the new Helldivers without the crash and burn? You think it's going to be the cross-platform version of Stellar Blade? Is this and then let's taking all the politics out. Let's look at the history of mech games. I am one that plays mech games. I love Armored Core 6, but do you think this is the new standard for mech games? We have been like me personally. I was let down with the lack of abilities and customization in mechs over the years. Now I haven't played Armored Core 6. Or was it Armored Core 6? I know I played Armored Core 5, but I can't recall if I played Armored Core 6. But for me, this is a breath of fresh air. Not just because of the cake, not just because of the beautiful assets. The game itself is stunning. The game itself looks awesome. It looks like something I'd want to play. But yes, leave a like, a comment, share the video if you like this, and if you're watching this again, if you're watching this uh, post live, leave a comment. Tell me what your thoughts on this game. If you have games you want me to cover that you think I might not know about, and you would like me to cover, please go ahead and let me know. Uh, all right, I'm gonna cut that out later for y'all to watch again if y'all want to watch the news on that one. I just cover gaming news. I try to keep the woke politics out of it. That's one thing I want to make sure y'all know. Um, but I need to. We'll play a little late tonight to make up for this because we took up 30, almost 45 minutes talking about this. I need to use the little dragon's room, and then we will play Enshrouded. Okay. So I'm just gonna go back, but I'm gonna put the Lavistro's plays on repeat until I get back. So I'm sorry about that, but I have to use the bathroom again. It's been a high hundreds these past few days, like 110. And I had the AC on, and it's got full fray on and everything. But these walls are made out of stone, so the heat is fighting the AC and making my office hot. Like I have to be careful where I let my PC at, so it doesn't. I even have liquid cooling in it. It's ridiculous. But we're gonna go ahead and have Lavistro plays on loop, and I'll be back. So enjoy the loop until I get back. In the meantime, I'll have Enshrouded loaded so that when I get back, we'll be ready to go.
This night, the dragon takes flight. Forgotten gamers unite in the shadows so tight. Lavistro's game, a mystical side. We're building culture in the purifying fire. It's my earth's light. Embracing the darkness of power ignites. The dragon's game, a legend reborn. Lurking in the shadows in the night so forlorn. Escaping legion from dusk till dawn. Joining forces, the outcast spawn. Forbidden lore whispers ancient and wise. She's in the game to everyone's surprise. The wolf is burned under his eyes, embracing the flame as the dragon flies. Relishing in the old ways, no compromise. The dragon's game, a mystical blend. In the darkness of night, his reign will extend. Forgotten gamers, he will defend. From the world's chaos to the very end. The dragon's game, the ultimate test. Join his legion and be blessed. In the shadows we find eternal rest. The dragon's game, the darkest best. A dark, ominous night, the dragon takes flight. Forgotten gamers unite in the shadows so tight. Lavistro's game, a mystical side. We're building culture in the purifying fire. It's my earth's light. Embracing the darkness of power ignites. The dragon's game, a legend reborn. Lurking in the shadows. the dragonflies. Relishing in the old ways, no compromise. The Dragon's Game, a mystical blend. In the darkness of night, his reign will extend. Forgotten gamers, he will.
Okay, and we're back. What are y'all talking about here? Let's see. Let's go and see what y'all are talking about here. I sit on gold with a princess. Okay, okay. All right, Dracos. You got 30-second delay, Lavistro. Yeah, I know. I've been trying to figure that out. I can't seem to get that. I've been trying to fix it, but well, I don't like that one chick so much. Wouldn't roll her in flower pink. Oh, Draco's choosing violence. True gamer goes in a bottle. Yes, they do. Oh, 107 here. You got me. You beat me. Yeah, it's hot. It's hot. And you would think a dragon loves hot because you see us in lava and stuff like that, but nope. Let's see. Yeah, you need to fix your roof, Dracos. Yeah, you feeling bad about it. Yeah, I know. It's use 100-mile-an-hour tape. That works. You can use duct tape, 100-mile-an-hour tape. Oh, you're out in West Texas. Awesome, awesome, Dracos. Yes. Now we're gonna play the game, but I want to know what y'all think about Make a Break. I'm actually excited for it, but I'm actually want to know what y'all thinks are. I mean, I'm surprised it's a Chinese game, and we do have a problem with DEI or DIE, as I like to say, going into um, the East. But we until they joined PlayStation, Helldivers 2 was an awesome game. Yeah, and it's okay to be. That's why I'm here. I'm gonna try to play it. I'm trying to see if I can get a pre-stream beta. I'm gonna play it. I saw some gameplay on it on Twitch. On Twitch, mind you, I did see some gameplay on it. It looks fun, and I'm not one that spends hours on character creation. And we already know by default I play as a male, but it looks fun. I'm not gonna lie. I think First Descendant is also a Chinese base. It's either Korean or Chinese base. I can't remember. Yes, that's true. He did admit he wanted to go public, so Helldivers was in. Yep, that's true. And what I'm thinking is like I've never been a true PlayStation fan. I did have a PS1 back in the day, and I had a PS2 back in the day, but I've never been a true PlayStation fan. Um, Most of my loyalty is with Nintendo because of Legend of Zelda. I love that game. That's like one of my top games forever. I mean, I'm still upset that they rewrote the canon back in the early 2000s because of the Wii or whatever. But to me, Link is left-handed. He's not no right-handed character. I don't care. I don't care if it was a mistake. Oop, what's going on here? Hold on. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen, my controller's not working. Or rather, do you mean I had to? Wow, I had to. Wow. Okay, so we gotta try this all over again. Now it works. I had to log. I had to shut down the game, turn the controller on, then start back up. Now it's being fickle. So back to PlayStation while we're waiting. Um, I never was a true PlayStation fan. I was Nintendo and Xbox, but now PlayStation did was just give me more reasons not to play PlayStation. Like I have not played a PlayStation game since the PS2, and now it just seems like with what Helldivers, and what Sony's been pulling out. Sony's been pulling a WotC, Wizards of the Coast, and Hasbro. Be careful of making deals with PlayStation. Any PlayStation game is going to go to shit, or it's going to take your money. Konami was another awesome company. I think it was was it Konami? Capcom, and Capcom made, if I remember, Capcom made Dragon's Dogma 2, and they went microtransactions through the roof. Sega, yeah, I like Sonic the Hedgehog. Like I remember the Mario versus Sonic wars, the he called the Gen 1 wars. I loved Sonic, and I was torn. I think I loved Sonic. Didn't really care much about Mario. I mean, Mario was all okay and all, but I liked Link from Legend of Zelda. So when people said, "Well, Nintendo's best," like, well, me being poor, I was like, I wish I could have afford both consoles, because then I'd have Legend of Zelda, and I'd have Sonic the Hedgehog, and I couldn't afford both consoles. My first console was the brick, the Game Boy brick, and when I got Legend of Zelda, I played the shit out of that game. And then I got a Game Gear later on. If anyone remembers the Game Gear, and I was playing Sonic the Hedgehog on that. The closest I could get to a console was at a friend's house or Walmart. They would have Sega and Nintendo next to each other. I didn't have a console until the GameCube. PlayStation got hacked and lost my info. Only time I had to kill a credit card. Never did that again. Yeah, see, like I don't have a PSN account. I never did. I never will. I've heard about things with PlayStation, and yeah, I'm just not gonna do that. Just not. I do apologize. I did not mean to take so long. That's why I was speaking fast. There's just a lot of just me looking at this game. There's a rabbit hole. All right. So we're gonna play some. We're gonna play some games. I'll play until 12:30. So we'll play for an hour. I do apologize. Don't forget though. Tomorrow we play with Theseus, and I think I saw him in the chat earlier. I'm not sure. It's but yeah. And I just want to go back and say I was like that one lady, she her, saying that a game that has feminine characters of beauty was meant for her. Rainbow Flag streamer. Yet there's a game that says is meant for her. You could argue the PSN, and I will say that's fair. That's a fair assessment that the PSN requirement probably hurt the game. But in reality, no one's talking like I didn't see much talk about Concord. Right? That game is meant for everyone, and not just for everyone. It's meant for everyone who wants to play mech characters with customization options and beautiful characters. That's what that's meant for. This is the company that got that voice actor said we're not gonna do voice acting for this game because of fan service. Well, fan service sells. I'm sorry to say, you don't like that. Fine. I'm not gonna. You can go out and say you're not gonna do it because of fan service all you want. You can say you're not gonna like my stream because I'm promoting those kind of games and playing these kind of games rather than what you think I should play. Well, let's be honest here. The people that I will object to certain games if I don't want to play them, I do let the people decide what we're going to play. Have I not? And I know we postponed the schedule a little bit, but have I not made a schedule based on what the fans wanted? I gave 3 options for games. Have I not? And we're playing those games, right? You gotta remember, I'm a single dragon. I'm a single dragon father. I raised a dragonling on my own. So something like this, it's my hold on. Hold on here a second. I'm not getting something. That's something that's something I didn't think about. That's a pretty good interesting thing. Really starting to think corporations are using them to launder money. At first I couldn't believe it, but then this has been going on for almost 15 years. They are burning money. Yeah, Disney's been doing that. So maybe they're so desperate for tax write-offs. I mean, the economy is bad. Let's be honest. The economy has been getting pretty bad, and I'm not talking political. I mean, let's take the politics out of it. Let's take the like whose fault, what, when, where, why, all that. Let's take that out, right? Let's take the politics out, and let's just focus on something here. You have people voting to print more money because of the pandemic, right? We're not going to go into this if it was a scam or not. We're not talking about none of that, okay? None of that. All right? We what the um yeah, you take all these games, right? I'm sorry, games. You take the people saying we want print money. The more money you print, the less rarity it has. The less rare it is, the more common it is, the less valuable it gets. And then you say no one's working, so that means production ceased. This is basic economics. Things are going to get expensive. Labor's going to the cost of labor. You're not just actors, but like teamsters, people who serve the food, that uh, build the sets, all those types of people, right? And you got your doctors and healthcare requirements, all that stuff, right? So, what do you think's going to happen? I'll tell you what's going to happen. Things are going to get expensive. It's just what it is. So when things get expensive, you have to do tax write. You gotta find ways to get your money back. All right, that's why you do tax return. People says, "Oh well, I don't know." No, 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 no. You're doing your tax returns because it's your money. It's not money the government gives you. It's money the government gives you back. All right, that's what taxes are for. You're paying for services rendered. And yes, we could all say, taxation is that, this and that. But if you have a national defense, right, to defend you, you're paying for people to protect you, protect your house while you're gone working, all that stuff, right? That's a service that only the government provides. Your vote representatives to represent you in these matters. So you gotta pay them too. So if you don't think the services are justified, first off, you fire the people that represent you in those matters by voting new people in. And then you tell them, okay, well, I'm using this and doing that to contribute to society. I donate this much to charity, so that way people don't have to be on welfare, so the welfare checks don't have to be pulled out. If you use that tax money for something else, all these things. And then you have your tax strategy. I built this. I built these jobs, but it ended in failure. I didn't make a profit from it, but I paid these people anyways. So they had jobs. They weren't being the breadlines. Yeah, tax write-off. So I understand that aspect, but does it mean that it doesn't get taken advantage of? Of course, it's being taken advantage of. It will always be taken advantage of. You could have the most perfect system out there, and there's always gonna be that one corrupt, that one greedy, lazy individual that messes up for everyone else. So nothing is perfect. And this is not just justification for the way the government is. This is just, like I said, take the politics out of it. This is how systems work. Every form of government has a similar system. QJ, hello. They go digital. We almost reached 36 trillion debt. Yes and no. All right, yes and no. Now, I know what you're talking about, and I know people don't want to hear this, but cryptocurrency is the jaws of the dragon. No pun intended. You're literally putting yourself to slaughter. I know people don't want to hear that, but it's the truth. But 3 million. The debt doesn't just mean like what we owe, right? And also is the programs we have and what our goods and services are worth. So this is why I try to promote, and it's hard because we don't have a lot. I'm not finding them. All right, and you can say, well, go make your own game. Well, I made games. All right, now I didn't make my own games, but that's because it was hard to do by yourself, and I still offline make games. But it's like the pencil analogy. You have many people building certain parts of their pencil to make the pencil what it is, right? The graphite, the wood, the metal, the eraser, the guy that assembles and puts them together, right? So it's not so cut and dry. But my fear is my thing is that we're pushing. Do y'all know that? Let me put it this way. Did y'all know Hollywood kept America afloat during the Great Depression? People don't realize that. Hollywood was the biggest export of goods and services to not only America, but everywhere across the world. People bought our entertainment. That's one of the things that made Hollywood one of the biggest giants out there in media industry. When the Great Depression was over, people still wanted our content. People still wanted our movies. They wanted our movie stars, right? Well, if we have a Grand Depression and we're selling and we're demanding more, and mind you, I love my anime, I love my manga, I love my Asian games, I love my Eastern games, I love them. But since we're buying more Eastern products because they're meeting the demand we want, what do you think is going to happen to the American GDP? What do you think is going to happen to our supplying goods? Because we're not based on our property value anymore. Our money isn't worth the paper it's printed on. Do you know how much it costs to print a dollar bill? You can call it a $50 bill. You can call it whatever, but just $1 bill. Okay, $1 bill. They come in sheets, but when you cut them up and stuff, and you have the $1 bill, that dollar bill cost of labor and resources $2.45. $2.45. No, you don't get that off of 2K a year. Of course, they do insider trading. They do a lot of illegal stuff. It's been called out. It's been proven, but they can do it. And we can't. Now, I'm not saying we should do it. I'm saying put your money where your mouth is. If you say XYZ is bad, then XYZ is bad. And that means that you should be held accountable because we're a republic, a rule of law, or at least here in America, right? Now, like I'm trying to avoid politics, Jacobs. Let's just keep that in mind. I'm trying to avoid politics here. I don't like talking politics, but most of this stuff isn't politics. The way I'm answering it, it's just matter of factisms because well, I've seen how our politicians treat people. You know, do you know what the Constitution says for deciding matters of war? Do you know who decides that? And Arizona tea. I don't, yeah, I guess so. Yes and no. Draco's yes and no. What they tell you is too generalized for the depression ending after World War II. Um, they also try to say that the Great New Deal did it, but the Great New Deal, uh, even after World War II, we're still trying to get to our pre-depression GDP. Um, a lot of the services actually hindered us, while Europe and European countries were quicker to recover. But part of that was because of well, the United Nations and America funding it. People don't realize the United Nations was tasked brainchild, and the oil was the United Nations because people believed that we would run out of oil in what was it, 1950? So they started drilling elsewhere, and then during World War II, they started making deals with the Arabic people, and then after World War II, we're like, oh wait, you joined up with the bad guys for World War II? Yeah, we're gonna go and make this state of Israel, give Israel back their land, and they just ended up causing more problems. Like everything, people say it's politics, it's ignorance. not really politics, it's history. People don't pay attention to history and it repeats itself. Look at Julius Caesar. Julius Caesar, prime example. The fall of the Republic was not by Julius Caesar himself. He was a result of the Republic's corruption. The senators centralized power, and then they gave it to one man. And then Caesar comes in, he gets more power, and they don't listen to the people. Um, they ignore them. People were drawing from welfare, the dole, and many of them did not meet the requirements for welfare. They were self-sustaining, but the virtues of self-sustainment and self-governance of the republic were gone. So, in comes Julius Caesar, idolized by the people and soldiers alike. And they actually, when he was assassinated, they worshipped him as a god. And what did Caesar Augustus do? If I remember, it was Caesar Augustus. Oh yes, he said that since he was related to the emperor or Julius Caesar, because he wasn't really the emperor, he was um, he was dictator for life. Um, he was a god too, so the Roman emperors became god emperors, and the republic fell. And the republic lasted for centuries, or not the republic. The empire lasted for centuries. In fact, according to history, the last branch of the Roman government is still in existence today, the Roman Catholic Church. The state organized religion is founded by the Byzantine Empire, one of the remnants of the former empire that was split in two. Now, that's not a bash on Catholics at all. It's not a bash on religion. It's just history. But people ignore history. So what has happened? The American founders they talked about this. This is why I don't do politics. This is why I don't have a party line. I don't draw party lines. I see all parties as degenerate because the founders didn't want that, and they said it's amazing how the parties set themselves up and put their people in a state of aggravation between tyranny and anarchy. They wanted a form of government that was representative, and we were supposed to know our history and be in because we are the cumulative inheritance of the Western civilization. Did you know Crisco grease was made to be an industrial lubricant? They rejected it. Yeah, I heard about that. And I haven't read much like in the historical records to prove that, but I've have heard people talk about that before. Absolute power does something. It works. I think Yoda states it better when he's talking about the dark side. Uh, when Luke Skywalker says, "Is the dark side stronger?" and Yoda says, "No, just faster and more productive," or something like that, right? Same with absolute power. We could call it because what did the Sith want in the movie canon? What did the Sith want? They want absolute power, right? And most of the Star Wars canon, they were trying to control the world, this and that, right? They were forced into hiding until people wanted them. They made sure that happened, right? But they're always searching for absolute power. And then we had the Clone Wars, right? Which, yes, you can argue it was started by Darth Sidious, but the people didn't have a standing army. They had something they couldn't answer. They like, how do we deal with this? The Jedi weren't meant to be soldiers, so he just opens it up as I will make a great army of the Republic. He gets that, they surrender more power, and he was supposed to. I remember, was it the Revenge of the Sith book? I read the book. I think it was Revenge of the Sith book or one of the earlier EU books. Obi-Wan was talking to Anakin, and he points out, and I think it was in a movie too. I can't be sure, but he points out that um, uh, the uh, the Chancellor was supposed to step down, and he never did. Right now, Anakin, being young and stupid, um, ignored it. Right, but then what happens? Order 66, and the Jedi were blind to it because they're like, okay, like, yeah, this is an issue, but we got this problem first to deal with, right? We got this problem, we got that problem. So the answer becomes, okay, well, if you're agreeing that this is a problem and we need to address this, when will we address this? If you say you're blind to the dark side's intentions, then when are you going to address it? When are you going to sit there? Because maybe what you're doing is wrong. They made millions for cig companies by telling women to smoke for women LIB. That's something that's way beyond my. Oh yeah, I'm a dragon of ancient time, but still, let's just say my knowledge of human comprehension and stuff only extends up to the 80s on up. So that's something I can't speak about. They have found out again that people who do have lots of money stop viewing us as people. Well, it's not that they found out again. They've always known this. I mean, it's no secret. Rich people see the common folk as peasants. Here's a fun fact. Here's a fun fact. Um, did you know that the medieval peasant has a better dental health than modern day people? Did you also know they bathed? They had bathhouses in villages. Did you also know that the word stew originated from British people for bathhouses along the Thames River? They would sit in there and uh, bathe in the river together. They called it a stew. The concept of not bathing came from a French doctor in the 1800s based on what he found out about nobles from France who bragged about not bathing for weeks using perfume so they wouldn't be bathing with the peasants. They would say, "Yeah, I don't bathe for, I haven't bathed for 10 months, and I don't plan to, because the peasants they will never see my body. They're not fit to see my body." Yes, and most of these bathhouses were with Romans, especially in cities and stuff. They still use the aqueducts and the bathhouses. Even it wasn't like after the fall of Rome, they're like, "Oh well, Rome fell. We don't have to take a bath." They were still taking baths. But people, contrary to popular belief, but that belief became a good way to uh, ridicule or critique the Middle Ages. People bathed, people showered in the Middle Ages, in the ancient times. Uh, the Greeks invented soap, scented soap from lye. The the thing is that people don't realize is that the ancients and medieval age individuals, including his prehistoric, weren't very stupid. They were very resourceful. Just because they didn't have certain access to the knowledge we have now does not mean they were dumb. All right, it's not mean that we evolved intelligently. No, that makes no sense. Especially when you look at like how we don't even know how they made Stonehenge. We're still learning. We learned that Stonehenge was made by the Wessex people that the Celts slew, and it wasn't made in a couple of years. It was made over 300 centuries, or 300 centuries, 300 years, 3 centuries in different stages, and yet we still don't know how they got the bluestone down to where they are. Those things are heavy. We don't know how they did that. We can't solve that problem. We don't know how the Egyptians were able to get those heavy loads up on the pyramids and how they were able to fashion them certain ways. We're learning little by little. Don't throw baby out with the bathwater. Well, think about what you just said, Dracos. Not many, even up to the early 1900s, don't throw baby out with the bathwater, came from family bath days. Didn't bathe for so long the water would be brown by the time they bathed the baby. Think about it. If you're, let me put it this way, and then I'll go back to think about it. My little dragonling, right? My son, my dragonling. He likes to play Legos. Okay. And well, he likes to play with his Legos in the bathtub. And I tell him, take your Legos out of the bath water before you drain it. Okay? You with me so far? My father has told me the same thing. Don't put your Legos, take your Legos out before you drain the bath water. Now, I don't know how old Lego is, but let's just assume my dad had Legos. I never asked him. My father had Legos. Let's just say it. And he says he was told by his dad, take the Legos out before you bathe or before you drain out the bath water. All right. So later on, the saying could be a saying, don't leave your Legos when you drain the bath water. Now you're going to tell me it was because the bath was so brown that because they haven't bathed so long, or is it because you would commonly bathe through a basin, a tub, right? You didn't have a bathtub. You had a little barrel, a half barrel basin, right? I forget what I was doing, but you have a basin, right? So you wash the baby, right? Maybe the daughter was helping the mama take care of the baby, right? And she would say, "Don't toss out the bathwater because she'd forget about the baby or whatever." Like, and it's probably gonna be impossible to do, yeah, 'cause it's heavy. But even a grown adult probably could lift up a basin that big with water in it. You'd have to use buckets or flip it over. So probably means don't put the baby out with the bathwater. Make sure the baby is out before you take the bathwater out. I mean, so brown. Okay, we could go with that. Or they're using river water, which is brown. Dirty gets dirty and brown. Or it could be any number of reasons. But scientific evidence has shown that people were bathing regularly. They were clean. They were bathing with soap. Even the only ones that would come close to that description were sailors because water was scarce. But when they went to port, the first thing they did was bathe by captains and hookers. We only had Lincoln logs. I don't know, dude. That's like I said. I don't know the affairs of humans beyond the 1980s. But that time period, TV was such a thing, and I raided a village. They had this magic box, and it had a TV. I was watching it, and it was Transformers and a Dungeons and Dragons cartoon. I was like, oh, this is cool. So that's where my extent of my knowledge started going around humans. Besides, we don't have Lincoln logs here. They kind of burn. Oh, you're talking about keel hauling. When with sailors, you tie their feet and hands, then drag them under the ship. They'd be clean by the time they come up the other side. Yeah, and bloody. Their backs would be bloody from being scraped across the barnacles on the side of the ship. But yeah, see, this is why I don't go into politics because there's a lot of common knowledge that's misconceived when you read actual archives and history. Like the common misconception is that people believed the world was flat when Columbus sailed the ocean blue, and that was based on a poem uh, about Columbus. But people knew it was round. Like you could, when you stare out, if you're in Texas, so let's say I don't know how far you're away from it. Let's say you go to the Gulf of Mexico. That's oh, I didn't even see you. But let's say you go to the Gulf of Mexico. That's around the Texas border, right? The Texas coastal border. You go over there, right? And you look out to the beach, and you look side by side on the horizon of the beach. You see the ocean, right? And if you notice, it's a curve. People knew it was round for a long time. People just didn't know there was an America over there. They knew about the Iceland the Vikings found, but you know, Columbus said it would be faster to sail um, west, and the reason he did that was because the Byzantine Empire did a boycott with was it what is it still the Byzantine Empire at the time? Basically, Constantinople was the gateway of the Silk Road for centuries since the Roman days, and they boycotted China, the Orient. So people weren't getting their silks, their spices, stuff like that from the Silk Road, and they would have to hug uh, the coastline. Number one, because the ships weren't built to take go further out in the sea. Number two, it was faster just to go along the coastline because you're sailing for months on end, right? People like, oh no, that's because of sea serpents. They're afraid of sea serpents. Yeah, well, then how did Columbus get people to sail with him? You still have to commission a crew, right? So, what was I getting at? People knew the Earth was round. They just didn't know fully much about the world. Like they didn't know there was a Louisiana River for crying out loud. Then Spain gets credit for discovering the New World. Pope Alexander the fourth, I believe his name was Pope Alexander IV. He was the most corrupt. Uh, Again, not to bash on religion, but historically, he was considered the most corrupt pope in history. But he declares that Spain is, or the New World is Spain's by divine right, and that people can tell the Native Americans there to convert to repent or lose their lands. And since they didn't know how to speak Spanish, what do you think happened to Native Americans? And yet America is holding the bag. The Spanish actually have the Black Legend. That's what it's called. And it lasted for 400 years. And 200 years, I think it was 200 years later, after Pope Alexander IV's declamation, another pope, I forget his name, he did Sublimis Dia, where he rebuked Spain for their treatment of Native Americans, saying that they're God's children. So again, it tells you there's simple nuances in history that people forget, and people like to forget them in the name of convenience. We can say, well, the left forgets about this and that because of convenience, and I think, well, to be fair, I've seen libertarians do it. I've seen Republicans do it. I've seen uh, anarchists do it. You name the faction. I've seen them all do it for convenience when there's nuance. So the question isn't what's the best source of government, because there is one that's been proven to work as the best source of government. We have it, a republic, a rule of law. Thing is, do we know our history? Do we know our um, facts, or do we just side with this person, that person, because they said the right things? We have more knowledge accessible to us than we did in the past, and yet we're so lazy we don't even use it. Yeah, well, so that argument can be made for everyone. It's easier to take over to control your mind. This is why I don't ascribe to politics. This is why I don't like talking politics, Dracos. It's to me, it's disgusting. Do you know that when I got blown up, they said share the road? Now I can sit there and blame Obama and Biden for that because he was the president, but the Constitution says Congress votes for war. We have not voted for war since 1942. Instead, we had the War Powers Act, the Patriots Act, and I forget the other one. And that was unanimously voted on by Congress. And it's so easy now for the Congress and the Senate to say, well, we didn't want this. It's the president's fault. And they'll point to the president as the person's fault. No, um, you're at fault. In fact, it's kind of funny because one of them, what's that lady's name? I think she was like a speaker at the House. I know, like I said, I don't follow politics, but she's like some Italian lady. Her husband got hit in the head. Uh, he got mugged or killed with a hammer or something like that. I can't remember. But anyways, she was saying one of the presidents had too much power, and they need to remove that from him. Well, she was one of the people that gave that office that power. But now it's an inconvenience because her tribe didn't have that power. I'm not saying that they should have that power. I'm saying people are so easily swayed. They know nothing about their heritage, know nothing about the rule of law or how the government's supposed to work, and it's been covered. No one knows. Everyone on both sides of the aisle, regardless of party affiliation or age, knows very little about the Constitution and civics. They have a very low civics education. Congress votes for war. This is why I don't vote people very much. So I don't take sides. And you can say I don't have a voice. Well, no, I've chosen. The people that you, not you personally, but you as a collective, has said this is who you're voting for. Choose between these people. Me not refusing to vote for that tribe means that you failed to convince me to vote for the person you want me to vote for. That's on you. When I don't vote, that's me saying None of these people represent my interests. So I will not vote for these people. I will not hire these people to represent me. Just like I wouldn't hire a feminist who believes I should not have custody of my son to represent me in a court of law to protect me and my son. I will hire somebody, man or woman, because a feminist isn't just a woman, man or woman, who says, yes, as a father, I have a right to care for my son. And that's what I did. And believe it or not, my lawyer was, well, my representative was female, and the judge was female. So, yeah, it is used against you. You're right, Adam. It was used against us. This is one reason why I don't take sides on politics. I laid at the feet of Congress. And I've had people on of all 49 parties, or yes, there are 49 political parties, say, "Hey, you should vote for us because if we ruled the world, this would be different. If we were in power, this would be different." How many dictators said that? How many dictators have said, "Well, if we ruled the power, we could say, oh, well, that wouldn't happen." Well, people have said that too. So I don't vote. Now, it doesn't mean I don't always vote. I do. I have voted for people. I said, "Well, that person comes close to my beliefs," or that person I may not agree with this person completely, but he or she is clearly not completely of um, the party mindset. So I'll vote for them. Yeah, and that's the funny thing is that that's exactly where that comes from. That's why Star Wars was a great piece of work, in my view. It was so relatable. We can draw upon that many, many times over, and it doesn't target one specific party. It doesn't say like this party. It was saying, hey, regardless of your party affiliation, regardless of your beliefs, there are people in your tribe that will do this. I don't care about the rhinos because I don't think they're rhinos. They're Republicans. They are. You go to Europe and you say, and you look for a conservative, you'll find out that a conservative in Europe means something totally different than a conservative here. Just like libertarians believe, oh, we're libertarian. No, you're not. Libertarian is communism. It is. It's a form of anarcho-communism. And no, what's his name? Marx does not have the monopoly. He is not the founder of socialism. He's the founder of his brand of it. There's different philosophies. The original libertarian definition of libertarianism is take this sword I have, right? Let's see if can I drop. I forget. Can I drop it? No. Hold on. Let me see if I got something here. All right. Take this arrow I have, right? As long as I possess it, right, it's mine, right? Actually, yeah. Let's do it that way. I don't have a bow, but yeah. Let's see. As long as that arrow, I hold that arrow, it's mine. But when I shoot it and release it, it's not mine unless I go back and pick up that arrow. Like this plant. This plant is not mine until I grab it. But then when I let go of that plant, it's anyone else's. When I leave my house is not mine anymore. It's whoever needs it. It's mine when I go back to it and no one else is using it. That's libertarianism. That's actual libertarianism. It was founded by a French guy who was a student of Proudhon, the founder of anarchy. And a lot of libertarians don't like hearing that. They're like, well, no, it was this guy, I forget his name, but he was known for twisting history and he got caught out for it. He and Ayn Rand had a fight because Ayn Rand even goes, that's not libertarianism. She did not want to be called a libertarian at all. But she also said she wasn't a conservative. But she supported Republicans. Which tells you another thing. Conservative, let's look at the definition of conservative. Conserve, right? To preserve something, right? If you want to conserve land, you'd be conservationalist, right? You preserve a certain amount of land, right? Sometimes for the name of an environmentalism, right? That's usually what people say, to preserve this land for environmentalism, right? Usually. And then you have conservative. A conservative is someone who preserves land or ideals that hold certain value to a host culture or nation. So, a conservative would value the borders of their land. In fact, let's put it this way, not to get too much in politics, but the story of this Flameborn, right? He's trying to preserve the ideals of the flame, right? He goes around, he battles the shroud, he goes to those towers, and he reignites the flame and lets it shine again, right? He's trying, he's not trying to upset anything. He's trying to reclaim what was important to his culture, right? He's trying to rebuild what was lost, right? So that would make him a conservative in this case, right? You go to um, Russia. Let's go with Russia, right? If you want to reignite the Stalin regime and communism, you'd probably be a conservative in Russia because you're preserving the ideals of that. Unless you're talking about the czars, you want to bring back the czars, and maybe you're a different sort of conservative, right? You're preserving a different sort of ideals and lands, right? Conservatives in Europe believe in a divine right of kings. They believe in uh, the welfare state. They believe in that stuff. We do not. We're conservative in America is a classic liberal, and the reason I say that is because, well, what do people who claim to be conservative uh, want to protect? The Constitution, right? Constitution was written under the ideals of John Locke and Montesquieu, and John Locke, where most of the stuff came from, wrote two treatises of government. Montesquieu wrote Spirit of Law, and to give you an idea, two treaties of government is literally almost word for word both the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution. And he's the father of classical liberalism and modern republicanism. Not GOP republicanism, just the form of government, modern republicanism, rule of law. And when the American colonies went against England, they weren't trying to make their own country. Originally, they were trying to get their rights back that was recognized under the 1688 Bill of Rights, which had the a form of the Second Commandment, gun rights, free speech, all that. And the King of England says since they're not part of the mainland, they're not technically British citizens. And when they sent their grievances to the king, he said, "No, you're all going to hang." Which Benjamin Franklin says, "Marvelous. We die separate. We hang separately or hang together." I can't remember the exact quote, but yeah, American conservatives are classic liberals, and it's a mindset. A conservative wasn't targeted by Republicans as a voter base until Reagan, because you have conservatives who vote for libertarians. You have conservatives who used to vote for Democrats, not anymore. But this is going back to the '60s. You had conservatives voting for Republicans, libertarians, Democrats, um, and Reagan won by a landslide. Then Bush came in to run, and he didn't get the same amount of votes Reagan did, and Republicans were losing power again until Trump came in. I'm not saying Trump's a conservative either. I'm just saying the conservatives voted for him because he was an establishment. He was outside the Republicans' control, so to speak. He was not really part of their party line. Oh. Do you know who they didn't lie about mass destruction? Do you know what a weapon of mass destruction is? When people say weapons of mass destruction, they think nukes. This root staff can be a WMD because it casts a spell, right? A fireball spell, right? So if I cast it, let's see. I think I killed all the enemies out here. Hold on, let me find. Let's go. Let's go back up to the beginner area. If I cast this root staff's fireball spell, it has an AOE, area of effect damage, right? Right. So it's an area of effect damage, right? Anyone that can potentially kill anyone within that radius, right? Of the area's effect. A weapon of mass destruction is something that can kill 2 to 3 or more people, according as defined by the FBI. Do you know who told George Bush there were weapons of mass destruction? Do you know what his nominate's tip was? The AP told us. The Associated Press told us back in the early 2000s. It was the UN. Whenever the UN wants to do something like oil, because the UN actually controls the oil market, seafood for oil program. Whenever they wanted something, notice they never ever had a peace treaty that was successful. They call for a ceasefire. That's all they do. They call for a ceasefire. The Korean War is a UN war. We were there. If you go to Korea, there's 2 separate forces there for South Korea. There's the UN forces, and then there's the USFK, States, uh, US United States Forces Korea. We have our own mission different from the UN. We're there because of our treaty with Korea, going back to the General Sherman incident, where we were the first people to build a treaty with Korea when it was unified. Korea is one of our strongest allies, just like Israel and Japan. And the UN called for a ceasefire. Uh, they were losing their forces, and every year they go to renew the treaty, but all they do is tell South Korea to give the North Koreans rights. Why would you think they do that? South Korea doesn't have a lot of oil, but we're left holding the bag. Why are we left holding the bag? Because whenever the UN wants something, they come to the US. And because we're interested in preventing World War III, this is where the term bleeding heart liberal comes from. What do we do? We fight their wars. So, Saddam Hussein kicks out UN inspectors because the Food for All program requires him to let them in to check if he's spending the money for food and not for weapons of mass destruction. At the same time, and this isn't the first time he's done this, but at the same time, we're under attack by Afghanistan, right? We're attacked by the Taliban. Let's. I don't care about this whole steel beams and stuff. Let's go with what we know. Let's go with the evidence that we have. All right. I'm going to ignore this whole thing because I'm only going with what evidence I've had. So who took credit for it? Saddam Hussein, right? So we go to war with Saddam Hussein. Well, that means we should only be fighting Afghanistan, right? Yes and no. We put a bounty on them, $1,000 or $1 million dead or alive for Saddam Hussein, not Saddam Hussein, sorry, Osama bin Laden. he doesn't get turned in. Did Congress vote for war in Afghanistan? No. They did the War Powers Act, meaning war on terror, right? So then you got the UN coming in telling the U.S. representative for the UN that tell the president that there's the Saddam Hussein kicked them out recently, so they couldn't inspect to make sure that they're not spending the money on anything other than food for their people, and he may be funding the Taliban. Does that sound familiar, Dracos? You're pretty. I'm assuming you're pretty old. I'm assuming, right? I found this out when I was trying to figure out why the hell we were there and why I had PTSD and why my friends died. Okay, so I'm not trying to go the emotional route. I'm just telling you, for a man who doesn't do politics, I know a lot of history because I looked it up. Because I asked myself why. This is why I'm against the UN. I don't think there should be a world government because many of the people in the world in the UN are dictators, and then many of the people in the UN are trying to dictate Americans what they think is right when we're the ones that had the highest. We were the ones with the highest GDP. We were the ones with the best army. We're like literally one of the one of, if not the top countries with the best army. Yet they're telling us we should have certain standards like they have. Yet we didn't have them. We were stronger. We had the best economy until we started giving people money. All these things, right? So I don't believe we should have a. I understand what's the interest of preventing World War III, but now you have dictators in there. So the UN tells our president this about weapons of mass destruction. We invade Iraq. What do we see? We see weapons of mass destruction. You just don't see nukes, but we see tanks. We don't see evidence of food being bought for his people. And then we find out what was the thing we found out? I can't remember. What was it we found out? Refresh my memory. Oh, yeah. There was corruption in the UN. When we captured Saddam Hussein and kept him alive from the Guantanamo Bay, UN wanted us to kill him, but we gave him a trial. And we found out the secretary for the Food for Oil program was using his position to give special interests uh, bids on contracts for the Food for Oil program. And I'm not saying Saddam Hussein was a good guy. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying, you know, he had a right to a fair trial, a basic human right, and he got it. And we learned some things about the UN. But do people talk about it? No. Yeah, we do stabilize that. Troops do stabilize. We do more than stabilize the economy there, Adam. Do you know why I use games as my platform to talk about people and try to bridge the gap and try not to talk politics? It's an old Latin phrase, "Homos lugens," people of play. In my first tour of Iraq, um, or was it what was my second? Basically, when I was in Iraq a while back, I was still pretty young, but I saw two sergeants playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare, and now it's not doesn't usually happen this way, okay? But in certain places, because I wasn't in the main fob, this is before Operation New Dawn that ended the Iraq War, right? We uh we had to work alongside the Iraqi army and Iraqi police. We had to help train them, right? So sometimes they would have access to our rec room and eat with us and stuff like that. And I saw an Iraqi sergeant and an American sergeant playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare together. they one could barely speak a lick of Arabic, and one could speak a lick of English. And a couple of years earlier, they were probably going to kill each other, or probably were trying to kill each other. Who knows, right? Because in the first initial push, the Iraqi army was fighting us until they surrendered, right? But if these two people could sit down and play a game together, laugh and joke, if I go over to if I'm in Iraq and I'm buying DVDs at an Iraqi market, right? I see these kids and I represent. I try to treat them like human beings to the best of my ability, mind you, to the best of my ability. People like to say we were horrible monsters. Okay, all right, yeah, I had to do some horrible things. I'm not going to talk about that. All right, I did my job, but I treated every individual Iraqi like they were my mother, my brother, my sister, my dad. And if someone tried to hurt them, well, my job was to be the monster that hunts monsters. And that's what I did. So we are the first ambassadors to the foreign world about America. Not only do we stabilize the economy there, not only do we rebuild countries after we take them over, the army does that. We're designed to take over and rebuild countries. Once we do all that, we're the first ambassadors. We're the first Americans most countries see. We do more political outreach than any other country, than any other politician. We represent on our uniforms. We represent our branch, our country, because you have your branch name, you have your flag, right? You have your unit, your rank. So you represent your unit, your rank, um, your branch, your name. So you represent your family, all on your uniform, right? And that's who you represent. So if you're a piece of shit, you're saying your family's a piece of shit because they taught you to be a piece of shit. If you're saying that the Navy's a piece of shit because or whatever branch you're in is a piece of shit. In my case, it was the Army. It's a piece of shit because well they expect you to be a piece of shit. Your unit's a piece of shit because well field artillery because I was in field artillery is a piece of shit because they say this is the standard of their soldiers. That means Americans are pieces of shit because well you're being a piece of shit and you're American. You're an American piece of shit. Or you could treat people equally, right? Share the ideals of the Constitution, spread the republic because we're not a democracy. You say, oh well, technically, no. There's a difference. A democracy, the laws can change at whim, right? And a republic, the law is supreme. You can have like people don't realize you're not. People are so used to being calling America a republic or a democracy, but 34 I saw videos 30, 40 years before I was born, people called or clips, whatever, recordings saying, "Oh, well, wait, we're a republic. We're going to defend this republic." And then I think in the 90s, people started calling it democracy. We're a rule of law. Everybody's equal under rule of law. And that law determines how we vote, who can vote, what your vote is worth. How do you solve problems with that vote? How do you make it fair? Right? You got the electoral college. That's why people who are Democratic, I'm not saying Democrats as a party, but Democratic in general, do not like the rule of law in the electoral college because even Socrates hated democracy. And Plato wrote about in his book. What happened to Socrates? He criticized the republic, and the mob voted to have him poisoned. No, no, it's not. It's not a form of socialism. You can have a democracy. Okay, people had democracies, and it didn't evolve into socialism, but it was weak. The Greeks weren't very socialistic. The the, the Romans were. The Romans were very socialistic, and they were a republic. Um, then you have monarchies, right? And Spain was a theocratic monarchy during Columbus's time, right? And they were just about they were kind of similar to socialism as well. We're a republic, a rule of law. We can decide. Well, how do I put it? We can suggest laws, but there's laws in check, so we don't that collects it that keeps us in check. There, like for example, the Senate was designed that the state votes for the Senate. You vote for your state senator. You vote. Do you know your state representative? Do you know your state legislator? Do you know who's in your state? No, that's a problem because the Constitution wants it was overwritten to favor a certain political issue back over 100 years ago. But the Constitution wanted the Senate to be voted on by state representatives and Congress to be voted on by the people. Congress represents the people, the Senate represents the state, and they check and balance each other. But what do we do? We change it to where we can vote for our senators now. The state doesn't. We tell the state who their representatives are. That's wrong, in my view. That's why I said, can you can you imagine New York and Cali electing our president? That's why we need a check and balance. We need the electoral college. Let's put it in reverse for anyone that's left leaning. Can you imagine Alaska and Texas determining the interests of the country? Texas and Alaska are the biggest states, right? Let's say that all the people fleeing go to Alaska and Texas, making them the giant majority. The pendulum's going to swing either way. You can keep running from it and everything else. You can run from that. Or is it fair to let someone as small as New Hampshire to have the same voting power as someone as massive as Texas or California? I think it's fair that we have mathematics determining how many votes determines an electoral vote to make it fair. Yep. You're talking about the well, see that's the thing. You need to people need to educate themselves. And that's why I don't do politics because I talk history and people are gonna be like, "Oh, well, you're talking politics, Lavistro. You said you're not talking." No, I'm talking history. I'm talking the historical facts. I'm not name where I said the Republicans are good. I didn't. I hate Republicans. Name one state, one area where I said the Democrats are good. I hate Democrats. Name where I said the Libertarians are good. I hate Libertarians. Name where I said socialism is the best. I despise socialism. I'm a very independent person who likes to speak my mind, and I would love for you to challenge me on it. But I just want to play a game. Tell me what's political about just wanting to play a game. Tell me what's political about building this building here. Tell me what's political about it. There's nothing. You want politics? Go talk to Hypnotic. Go talk to Mm, help me out here. Give me a content creator that deals with politics strictly. D-Day Cobra. He's the leader of Geeks and Gamers, right? But he also talks politics on his channel. You want politics? Go talk to him. You want, but you want to know. Like I was going to build a castle here, but we were talking so long. But if you want to know how to build a secret tunnel, you come to my channel. And you find an artistic expression of an underground tunnel that leads to a set of stairs that I haven't finished apparently. Okay. If you want to know where we are, you should already know. Oh wait, no. There, see? These are a set of stairs. Let's see, I forgot to put this up here. A secret entrance. So good that I forgot about it. To a basement that has cobwebs on it. And a storage center that leads up to a living area, a kitchen, a blacksmith with his own room, a tower that leads to a second floor with beds, and a tower that offers a nice big room for you with stuff to decorate your room with from suits you have. You want to know that? That's not political. That's me just wanting to play a game. And share that with people who want to play a game, who want to find games that aren't shoving woke politics down their throat. Games are not telling them to be more right wing. Just a game that they can just escape. Be a soldier. Be a Viking. Be a wizard that likes to cast fireball. That's what this channel's for. Yes, I have my own ideals, and I'm pretty sure most people that watch me would agree with my ideals. But I'm gonna tell you, Dracos, with respect, okay? I don't want to talk politics on my channel. You want your Zoids. And I understand that, Dracos. I understand. But you gotta understand, from my point of view, okay? Um, I understand your point of view. But people have been saying the sky is falling since I was a little dragonling. Okay? Take that metaphor for what you will. You can take that to any sort of politics you want to take it. This is the end of the republic. The world's going to end in 5 years if we don't do this. Um, you name it. I believe there's a higher power that decides when something ends and when something begins. That's what I believe. Again, you can take that for what you will. I believe there's a higher power. There are things in my life as a dragon that makes me believe that. And if you think that's stupid, well, remember, you're talking to an entity that believes he's a dragon, right? Who keeps calling himself a dragon. So, you can correct me all you want, but are you going to tell someone who believes in 500 genders that they're wrong? That they believe that? No, you're not going to. You're not going to convince a dragon of that same thing. That he's not a dragon or something, because I'm going to tell you, look at the screen. What do you see? I'm a dragon, right? So when you sit there and you tell me, and you have a right to believe it, but when you tell me the world's going to end, I'm going to say I've heard that before, and so I believe there's a higher power that's going to decide that. And if he decides that, I can't deny that. I can't stop it. I just do my best to move on because I believe a game, just playing a game, can heal so much. That's why they come after games, and that's why I find games for you to play. You can choose to play them. You can choose not to. You can choose to maybe just sitting here watching me play a game, run around cluelessly talking to you. You can believe that's relaxing and peaceful for you. Okay, you're welcome to sit here and watch me play a game. This is not a drama place. If you notice, I tried to avoid talking too much about woke. I just said, here's a game that I like. I think it's interesting. Here's why I think it's successful, and here's my evidence to that belief. I skirted close to the politics of that stuff, but I gave it a quick critique and a devil's advocate as well. And I left. Left it at that. I said I've been more praising that game, saying how interesting this game is, than its competitor in comparison. Okay, because I don't care if you want to play Concord, for example. You play Concord. You want to play Baldur's Gate 3 and be a trans character. You go play Baldur's Gate 3 and be a trans character. That's your right to do so. You want to come over here, make your own castle, and say that wizard's gay. He's a non-binary. The huntress is a trans. She has no institutional power, and he has white guilt. Well, that's your prerogative. Not one of these characters in the game mentions such things. The Blacksmith has never told me his political beliefs. The Huntress has never told me her sexual identity. Nor him. Nor her. Nor him. But to me, that's a man. That's a man. That's a woman. That's a woman. That's a man. To me, they don't have a political belief. Their political belief is reigniting the flame. Same as his characters. That's the lore. My character, he, I don't even think about his sexual orientation. I just made a male character. He could be gay, he could be straight. I didn't think about it so much. But if it ever came up, I'd be like, hey, he's probably straight. That's my world. That's my Enshrouded game. But I didn't come here to tell every creature, hey, I'm a straight white male. No, I came here to chop a tree down, build a castle, just enjoy a game, just escape the madness, and try to express myself in the beauty. Like you may say this castle here, they'll say, oh, this is too cheapo. This isn't really artistic. But when you look at it, a lot of thought has gone into a lot of areas, and there could be a lot of improvement. But a person who had very limited access to certain things in the beginning, it has a design, it has a function, it has an expression, right? This is a point of my expression in the game. Go around building. Oh, I'm starving. Go around building, flying, fighting. And I understand and respect your position, Jacobs. You walked into what you guys were talking about. Otherwise, I leave the politics outside. Okay, well, you walked into what we were talking about. We were talking about a game, a beautiful game. Mind the politics. Leave it outside at all times. Even if you think I'm speaking politics, remember I'm not speaking politics. I never speak politics, and that's the thing. Like just like when people can't see anything but politics on the left, they ask, "How's this person non-binary, binary, transmutual, transracial, whatever, Pinkerton toe, whatever?" Uh, and they ask, they see something, someone says that's like, "Is this political? Is this LGBTQ plus junior?" No, I can talk history, and people say this is politics. No, I could say I don't like this woke stuff because that's what we call it, and it not be political. It's my opinion. It's my expression. I don't like this. I don't like this game. Why? Because it feels woke to me. What do you mean? Well, that's I don't have a name for it. It's just it's got this nonsense, non-reality thing about type one, type A, white people bad, diverse characters that don't make no sense, that has no natural diversity, and you're forcing me to talk to and have a love interest with a gay character. I don't want that. I just want to play a game. If I wanted to play a game with a gay character, I would have played a game with a gay character. There's games for that. If you say this game is has game characters, well, I'm going to say, well, that's not for me. I don't want that game. Good luck in your endeavors. But I want pretty girls. I want good looking guys that are. I want to choose my race, my color. I want to choose my gender for my character. I want it to make sense. And then I want to go out in the world and pretend I'm the villain, the anti-hero, or the hero of this area. And I guarantee you, every gamer doesn't give a shit. Real gamers are apolitical. We've always been. That's why we're tired of politics. We don't give a shit about about people's politics. We don't give a shit. What are we gonna when we sit down? What do you think we're gonna sit down and do? We're gonna talk about the geopolitical struggle of the Middle East. We're gonna talk about the struggles of LGBTQ community. No, we're gonna talk about games. We're gonna sit down. We're gonna grab a controller, talk games, and ask who's played this game, who wants to play this game, and who wants to watch me play a game. That's what gamers think. So when I say I don't want this game because it's woke and people don't want this because of potato girls, it's me critiquing the game for what it is. It's not me critiquing the game because of politics. Because I showed even this girl who has she/her pronouns with an LGBTQ flag says that this game with the pretty women with curves is for her and her only. And yet it does not say LGBTQ. Yet a game designed for LGBTQ with a potato girl, mind you, saying it's LGBTQ plus IA, whatever, couldn't get traction. It was made for her, and it couldn't get traction. There's no one saying that game was made for them. But it was made for them. So people like me would be like, okay, you said LGBTQ, even with that out of the way, even with that not being in there, what did I say? This game does not look interesting to me. I don't like the art style. It's too crazy, too wild, for one. The mechanics don't interest me. And not because it's woke or it has DIE or Sweet Baby Ink. I only addressed a little part, and I even said what I say. It could be because of the PlayStation numbers, but no, we're not. We're not about that life here. I don't care if you voted for or against Trump. I don't care. I don't care if people do that. What am I doing? What I care about is games, pure and simple. Probably keep that for a while. And I hope you don't take offense to that, but that's just. I've been jaded by politics so long, dude. I've seen both sides. People just blindly support people on both sides of the aisle that had their own interests at heart. These people that they support had their own self interest at heart, not just one side. And people who aren't in power that say the same rhetoric as people in power that I try to transcend that. I want to go to the day where I could just talk about games. I fought your wars. I fought for what I was told to fight for because no one answered the call, so I answered the call. And I'm not trying to be high and mighty about this. I'm just saying I fought that fight. I don't care about it no more. I really don't. I really don't. People can fight their own fights. And if the world falls apart, well, the world falls apart. Because that's what um, the powers that be decided will be. Or people can choose to do the right thing and agree that regardless of what we believe in, regardless of what tribe we vote for, we're all human. And the only way I think I can promote that ideal is by something I've seen. Again, playing a game. I'm not mad or anything. I'm just stating my thoughts on the matter. And maybe I'm wrong. Oop, maybe I'm doing this wrong. But I just don't care about that stuff anymore. I really don't. Right. There. All right. I'm actually getting a little tired. I do apologize for that discussion. Um, I don't want to have that discussion again, so I hope we never repeat these conversations. I'm just going to ignore them. I wish I looked a year later. What are you talking about, Adam, about a release? What are you talking about? Oh, are you talking about Zoids? Is that what you're talking about? A release of Zoids? Yes, you're right, Draco. Me and I got my cave, my little dragon, my family, and that's all that matters to me. It should matter, all that matter to anyone. Yes, sometimes we gotta do what we think is best, but maybe I'm naive, but I just believe politics leads to places where we lose sight of what's important. And that's my personal view. But all right, I'm going to call it a night. I did play till 1 a.m. on my time, so it's getting pretty late. I hope you like the news of that game, and you all have a good night and happy gaming.